Okay. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Avini Vibes. Very happy to be here. My name is Christine Rolando. I'm your host with a co-host, Carol Witt, always helping in the back end office. Very grateful for that. And always for the people that are, I'll call them the regulars, the supporters, the people that come to Avini to learn, come to this call to share and experience profound things. We're so excited and we're very, very blessed to have the most amazing products on planet Earth, the most amazing leadership and company that you'd want to hear about and be part of. So thank you for that, your time tonight. We do this call every Thursday night, but this isn't the only call. There's many more calls to get educated about products. Each call is dedicated to a different issue or topic and knowledge. And that's what it's about. It's about what knowledge is power, right? So we're here to share. Reminder, we don't make any medical claims. We don't diagnose or we don't treat. Again, we're here to listen, learn, share, and educate one another and learn each week from our guest speaker's own experience. And tonight we're very, very grateful because we have two very special guests with us tonight. And if you remember last week, I said that Michael Pollock was going to be our guest speaker tonight in light of our new websites. But Michael had a death in his family, so he's keeping your thoughts and your prayers. His granddad passed, so he's on his way to deal with his family and loved ones. So we're actually blessed to have Shu on tonight, Ray Shuland, all the way from Big Sky, and we're going to hear his story in a moment. And then we're also going to hear after him from our own CEO, Neil Roth. And we're grateful for the both of you gentlemen to be here tonight. So with that, I'd like to invite Shu to the floor. Shu, where are you? If you can, Carol, can you fix the screen so we can see Shu? Thank you, Shu. Please join us and share a little bit about your gift, story, and your why Avini. Thank you, Shu.
Well, Christine, you kind of said it all in the beginning.
I
I mean,
did?
that was more than enough right there. How fortunate we are to be where we're at today because of Neil and Rick and Doug and stuff. It has really put a limelight on things. I was very fortunate in my younger years, and I'm talking grade school. My parents were in network marketing. I can't believe it. It was true in the 40s in Havre, Montana, of all places. And my dad had the garage full of boxes, and they had these little cellophane packs in them, and you had to chew them. They were these little either chocolate or vanilla flavored vitamins, I guess you'd call them back in the day. And whatever was in those, nobody could catch me and my two brothers. I think if we went back to Havre, Montana today, I bet you we still hold records in that town for several different things. And it's been an adventure for me ever since because I just got brainwashed at such a young age that you needed nutrition. So I never stopped looking. Um, my mother passed away at 102. I think she was on one heart pill at that time. And so I'm hoping I got some good genes because the rest of my family has all passed from either the big bad cells and or the memory issues or the combination of their between the two. So I'm the only one left, and I have to give credit to my mom and dad for having me see the light to stay focused where I'm at. And it's not what I do, it's who you run into, which changes your life. And for 20 years now, fortunately, I've been on the Cell Defender thanks to Marcy and Chip and Robin. And when Robin called me and asked me about this, I says, Robin, first of all, I'm not interested in your comp plan. Okay. I just was not. I'm been in enough marketing and I feel I've been burnt a few times and I just feel like I never got anywhere. I did, but never was acclimated for that or credited for that. So I just got burnt out. Well, what happened is with all the bullet holes I got in me from in the service in Vietnam, I was told I'd be in wheelchair or crutches a good chance for the rest of my life. And when I got out, I really went to town looking. And of course, I ran into Marcy, Chip, and Robin. And that changed everything. Um, there's not anything I can't do today. I can go play basketball I want. I ride my bike when I want. It's called real freedom, not just your health, but the freedom it gives me to get up out of bed every day and not hurt. or be able to get out of bed, period. And it's one of those things where I ask a lot of people, if there was one thing you could change in your health, what would it be today? And Diane, that does our morning calls with us and greets everybody and stuff, she's the one that posted that one day on Facebook, and I copied that out there. And a lot of the things I have to say are going to be from somebody else today. But it's really resonated with me. I wasn't good in school. I was held back in some schools, grades, and I just never did excel in that. I went to college, didn't do much there either, and stuff. But I'm a Sagittarius, and I happen to be one of the luckiest people around, and my wife will contend to that. And we just seem to have things fall your direction, no matter how big the pile is that you fall into, and stuff. So I've had a great, gracious life, and stuff. Because if you talk to so many people, and we've all heard this, healthy people have thousands of different dreams that they think about from day to day. But if you have a bad stamp across your forehead with some catastrophe of a disease or cells that are gone haywire, that are not communicating anymore, you have one dream in your life, one dream. And that's all we got to bring to these people. And that's helped me so much. Again, like I mentioned, when I go to talk to somebody, I make that first phone call to my upline. Okay, what do I say? And it's helped me so much because they bring into fortitude as to what you're really looking at. Because for me anymore, I don't even go into the products. The people aren't interested in your products. They really got to feel your heart coming out of your chest and out of your eyeballs. And it's the opportunity, and find out what they want in life. I mean, everybody wants something better than what they have because they're not happy where they're at. Most people are not happy at their job today, and that's kind of a known fact. So let's find out what their long-term goals are. What are you going to do 20 years? Where are you going to be 5, 10 years from now? Write those down and let's talk about those. Now, how do you plan to get there? I mean, really, just Dave Johnson does a lot of this. And I picked up from his calls because I don't miss many calls. And so those little tributes that you pick up here and there, it only has to be a short verbiage. It doesn't have to be long term. Listening, like we all talk about, and quit talking. Well, I've definitely talked too much a lot of different times, and I catch myself that afterwards. Oh, man, I shouldn't have said that. Boy, what was I thinking? And stuff. I've had a lot of good conversations and laughs over that and stuff. So it's, we're basically rewriting the rules of aging, and we're into a revolution, excuse me. I mean, really think about that. We are headed there. We are going there. I mean, more and more on the big news stations and whatnot, it's coming up more and more and more. And that doubt in our minds, whether we're toxic or not, now it's out there. It's everywhere. Everybody does finally know that word toxic now. It used to be kind of a lame duck trying to get that word across to somebody because they seem to be healthy and they don't think they could possibly be toxic. But now we know different and stuff. And if you're sitting down at a table or having lunch or coffee, I mean, it's pretty easy to point that out. It's always fun to drop some drops into a glass of water and see the foam or the steam come out of the top, and they say, "Holy smokes, what's that?" And then, here, take a smell of that. Whoa, that stinks. What is that? And it's easy to get somebody's attention on something like that. I'm always looking for somebody, even as lightly as how they're dressed, as to what kind of car they got out of, what they have in their car. Do they have a dog in there? How many kids they got in the back? And what kind of dog is that? I mean, it starts a conversation. I do it at the gas pump. It's just a great place because two of you are stuck in a few minutes apart there on each side of the pump. And I'll say to somebody, your tires are wore out. What? No, I just had them checked. No, let me show you something. And after that conversation is done, because I used to work in a tire store during college, um, I'll say, hey, would you mind if I could share something with you? And off we go. That was my opening, was the tires or the dog in the back of the truck. You have to look for an opening, though, because not everybody's going to come to you, right? Nobody's going to call you. You got to reach out. You got to come out of your own skin and actually be on a mission. I mean, a serious mission. If you want to get there fast, just get out of yourself. I tell some of my downline, let's go to the streets. Let's go. Let's you and me just go to the streets and let's work a day or two. I tell you what, all you got to do is one opening and have them look and what you did, and they're on their own. But they just had to see it happen one time, and then they're not afraid anymore. But that initial effort to get out there to do that, and if they can see me doing that once or twice, it's just a no-brainer. They're on a roll, and I think that's built with quite a bit of a team for me. And
Shu,
yes,
can you back up because we have a few guests on the call, and you said that you've been using the Cell Defender for a while, but can you just kind of just give a little clip on that with Avini being, using in this company with Avini, why you love the Cell Defender and what's so powerful about it? Can you just share that?
oh, I was in the armory department basically, so I was around a lot of powder, and um, we shot a lot of bombs and stuff. Not I didn't do much of the handgun bullet stuff as I did the big bazooka guns and whatnot, and very toxic. And you handled those raw and stuff, and so when that stuff comes back down out of the air, you're drinking all of that, and you're in a pit, so you can't get away from it. It comes right back down in the hole you're in and stuff, and so for 20 years I've been on the Cell Defender. It's taken majority of that all out. It's probably still working some of it out. I still have several pieces of shrapnel in my body that can't come out, and I still think it keeps it at bay. I still think it takes off some of the toxins that are still on that metal. And of course, I live on the Cell Defender or the Plus Relief, excuse me. I actually go through an 8-ounce bottle of that per month and stuff. I take a lot of it, but it keeps all the owies away and stuff. If I start to hurt, I know I forgot a day or whatever, and I just got to get pumped right back up, and away the discomfort takes off again. And I've had several calls on that from people I don't know in the company referring to that very situation. And I've always said, you've just got to overcome the pain one time, and then you know your level, and that's the amount you're going to need to maintain that comfort zone. If you fall off, that discomfort's going to creep back in, and you know you got to pump it back up for a day or two. And that just seems to work really good. But I have an issue with sometimes with the dosages and stuff. It just needs to be pointed out how that actually works. And everybody's a little bit different. Everybody takes a little bit more or takes a little less. I take more. I take more of everything. I'm on everything Avini has. And every time Neil comes and Rick comes up with another product, says, "Oh man, I'm going to have 2 more products now," because you know whatever they're coming up with, you know you're going to have it because it's going to make a difference. The products work, and we got to have them. Thank you, Neil and Rick. Yeah, and my wife this morning, she says, "You think it's going to be a capsule?" I have no idea. She says, "How come you don't know?" I says, "Neil won't tell anybody." And I says, "If I could get Rick in a room for a minute, I probably could get him to squeal, but then he'd get in trouble from Neil and stuff." So we had that conversation here in the kitchen this morning and stuff. So she's as excited as the rest of us, and she's does not work the business like I do, but she's on the products, and my daughter's on the products. Neither one of them work the business, but they're all on it. The dogs are all on it. The cats are all on it, and stuff. So it's, yeah, I mean, the birds need to be on this flying over your house. I just wish they could all get a piece of it. We all know everybody needs it. Um,
I had
but
a very sick duck at our barn, and he had a broken leg, and I used all the products on him. So, the birds do well with it also. So,
yeah.
so Shu, somebody asked in the chat if you would share a little bit about in light of time. You still have some time here, but if you would share like what you're very special. And some people say, I'm not special like Shu. I don't have the personality. I don't have Shu's personality. Just go out there. But it's not about that, is it? It's not about you. It's more about the other person, right? That you go out every day with that attitude. Can you just give an example of that?
Well, let's see. A good one is a couple of weeks ago. Some of you heard Jesse's great news she got a couple of weeks ago about getting a clean bill of health for her second time in a row. Well, Kelly Callahan called and said her and Jesse were going to celebrate for a lunch in Coeur d'Alene, and Jesse's dad flew into town from Pennsylvania. So I says, I'm on my way. So I took off over to head to Kelly's office. Well, I was about 20, 30 minutes late or early, excuse me. And I know Kelly's really busy. So I tried not to pop in early. I said, boy, what am I going to do? Well, let's go into Costco. I'm sure there's somebody in Costco I could talk to today. I never even made it to the door. And I already had a guy that his leg was all wrapped up. It was swollen. You could tell he was in pain. And he said he had those clot things going on. And it took me by surprise because I had no idea what to say to him at that point. That one just kind of blindsided me. So he went out into the store. I headed the opposite direction, kind of towards the restrooms. I sat down on one of the counters and I called Chip immediately. And I says, Chip, I was just hit with this. What do I say? Chip gave me a few words of wisdom, and I went right back to the front of that store. No sooner did I get there, and he's at the checkout just getting done. And him and I walked back to his truck. I gave him a flyer. I gave him our new magazine, and we had a great discussion right then and there. He was from Texas. He was on his way driving all the way back to Texas, brand new truck, and that's what kind of started the conversation. Wow, that's a beautiful truck you got. And he says, yeah, I just got it. Da, da, da. So that was the breaker. Then seeing his leg all wrapped up was the other breaker. It just was, I knew he needed me.
Yeah.
And he needed Avini
Yeah.
right there. He needed it right there in the parking lot. And it's the craziest thing. So you donate a bottle or two. I mean, it's going to change that guy's life on the way home. If I can get somebody a cell defender earlier in the morning and tell them to take 5 drops 5 times a day, they're going to have more energy by the afternoon. And they're going to be calling me, Shoo, what is this? I haven't had this much energy in years. And I tell them when I hand them a bottle of Cell Defender, I says, on one condition and one condition only, that you take 5 drops 5 times a day. That's my condition. Otherwise, you can't have this. I have had 100% success of somebody finally realizing what this stuff does overnight. Like the energy, that happens the same day. If you get somebody in the early in the morning, hand a bottle out. In the afternoon, they've already got more energy. And of course, that night, they're going to dream in color, like Chip says, because of that lack of oxygen we all have. Well, we get a little more oxygen in there. Now you get some color coming in your dreams. And that brain fog that I swore I didn't have, I could have bet you $1,000. I never had that, but boy, that cleared my mind up in a hurry and stuff. So you just got to realize what we have a hold of being on it for 20 years. I know it works. There's no doubt in my mind, but you don't have to be on it for 20 years to realize that. Be on a few of these calls like yours and stuff, and you get the belief. I mean, I was adding up, Christine, how many testimonies, this is a test, do you think there's going to be speaked at the summit, in the hallways, in the bathrooms, and at the lunch? Well, I added that up. Somewhere around 20,000.
Wow.
That's how many testimonies I figured
Mhm.
are going to be shared. It's going to be amazing. And when we get those 2 new products, there's going to be more testimonies before you get off the plane when you go home, just like last time with our balance. I mean, I had the weirdest looking urine in the world when I got home. And I called Chip that same day and I said, Chip, what do you think's going on? This stuff, you don't even need to turn the light on in the bathroom. You can see it glowing in the toilet. It was orange as orange could be. And Chip says, well, Shu, you've been on that Cell Defender a long time, but maybe there's something in there that the balance is finally reaching. Well, guess what? Since Vietnam, I've had a side ache in my liver area for 50 years. That pain is gone. So whatever that was coming out of there was another godsend, another miracle. And you couldn't massage, if I went to get a massage, you couldn't touch that area. That's how tender it was. But it was down, I could feel it was down deep in there. And it would come and go. It wasn't there every single day. But since the balance, it took a little while and it's gone. It's never come back since. So, 20 years on the cell defender and we keep coming up with these new products. I mean, who knows what the next skin thing is going to be like, or the next eye testimonies going to be like. But you got to give it a chance. Like Rick says, 3 months. 3 months. You got to give things a test. That took me a little while to get to that point of telling people you have to be on this for 3 months. But not everybody's going to take 3 months. But we've had people go months and months before they get a testimony. But when they do, it's a whoa moment and stuff. But they need to be cuddled a little bit, reassured a little bit. I was in Kelly's office yesterday, and sure enough, she just had a customer leave, and come to find out this gal was stopped taking the cell defender. So Kelly had to go back in and call her back up and call her out on it. She says, "Do you remember what you were like when you first came in here a few months back?" Had to remind her what had happened. Well, the girl forgot about it because it wasn't an issue anymore. But she decided not to take it anymore. Well, as soon as Kelly got done with her, guess what? She bought some more cell defender that day. So sometimes we do need a reminder of some of these people that are even on there. It doesn't hurt to check back with some of your people. I'm bad at that. I'm a run and gun wild hair guy. And I am. I've been that way my entire life. I just run and gun, get in line because here we go, hang on. And stuff, it's just so much fun. And like MJ Durkin says, it's got to be fun and it's got to be easy. I can guarantee I wouldn't be here if it was either one of those were gone, because I look forward to getting out the door every day. And I live out in the country, so I have to go to town every day. And the wife asked me, "Where are you going?" I said, "I don't know, but I'm going to change somebody's life today." I'm always got a flyer in my pocket. Doesn't matter where I'm going, and stuff. And it's just that simple words. "Hey, do you mind if I share something with you?" I've never had anybody say, "No, I don't want to hear nothing." I've never had anybody. I mean, pick your own medicine, but this revelation isn't going to happen without us. And we are the ones here are the revelation. It's you and me busting the seams out. I mean, we're just not going to fit in those pants anymore.
Oh, yes, we are. We're going to need new pants because I'm on the trim science. The meal replacement. So, Shu,
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you so much for sharing your heart, your wisdom, and your emotions with us. It's not always easy. You don't think that you're going to come on here and something's going to well up like that. But you just, you're a man with a heart and a man with a vision. And every day you go out to make a difference in somebody's lives, like everybody here. And you said the question, what new products do we have? I think we have Neil Roth with us. And guess what? He knows. So maybe we can all coerce Neil to tell us. Probably not. But with that, let's give Neil Roth a beautiful welcome. Neil, come on and join us tonight. Thank you so much for all you do, your vision, your commitment, your leadership. We love you, and you have the floor, please. Thank you, Shu.
So there's a lot of things I could talk about. I want to continue on a little bit of what Shu was talking about. First of all, let me explain to you what I'm going to tell you in terms of the new products. Slim and None and Slim left town.
Where's Rick?
No,
Gotta be there.
Rick has laryngitis now. So I'll go into that a little bit, how we come up with these products, because it's pretty interesting way we do these things. But to continue on with Shu, a lot of you have been to the summits and heard me speak before, and I speak a lot about belief. Okay. I was just like you guys for 27 years or whatever it was that I did it for 25 years. And I found that, belief was the most important thing. One of the guys that my mentor in the business, he said to me one time, and I think other people have said it, but it stuck with me, was when you talk to people, they may not remember what you said, but they will remember the way you made them feel. Okay. So and that's why we call this an interpersonal relationship business, because you're creating relationship with people. People say, "How do I deal with cold market?" Have you said more than 2 sentences to them? Yes, they're no longer cold market. Okay, you've now developed a relationship.
Yep.
Okay. So how do you create this belief? Well, there's a number of different ways you can create it. The way we create it in this business is by getting together in these kind of things, coming to summits. Listen, the company spends an inordinate amount of money on those summits. Those of you who come know that we do not hold anything back. I mean, I do charge some money for it, but trust me, it doesn't even pay for one meal. Okay, we try to take good care of you because we started this company, and one of the three tenets of this company is that the distributors are the biggest assets we have, and we need to take care of them. Okay, so but when you come to these meetings, invariably anybody who shows up at that meeting and listens and builds their belief in the products and the people and that's not only just by what goes on in the stage, as Shu says, it's what goes on in the breaks and goes on in the meals and goes on the way to walking to the meeting. All those things, you create amazing amount of belief. Now here's a problem with belief. This is my other belief, okay, that belief is a bucket. And the only way that you can help people using your belief is if the bucket is overflowing and it's just flowing down on top of them. Problem with that bucket is there's a hole in it caused by every person you walk by who's negative. And that's why you have to continue to get on these calls, have to, get on the rev calls, listen to calls. When you're driving, put on one of MJ's calls, whatever you want to do, just to continue to stay in the moment in this product and this business. We have, without a doubt, and I look at it regularly, and so do you guys, and Chips, who's on, is another one who understands. We have the most amazing collection of products that anybody has done. Do other people have good products? Absolutely. Nobody has the breadth of products that we have. We have a commitment, Rick and I, when we talk about how do we come up with products. First of all, sometimes we're amazed that we could actually come up with another couple of products because it's getting hard. But we have on this one, believe it or not, it's good. They're going to be amazing. But we understand that we have Cell Defender, the tip of the spear. We have Nano Silver. One takes out all the dead stuff in your body. One takes out all the live stuff that you shouldn't have in your body.
Hold still, sweetheart. I'm sorry. Hold still.
Somebody,
Oh, yeah, mute.
thank you.
That was
Pat.
Pat.
That was
Pat.
Pat.
Pat,
So,
mute.
those take it out of the body. The rest of it is we take a look at what's going on in our country right now. Okay, what's going on in our country is there are a number of epidemics going on out there, or pandemics, or whatever the word that somebody wants to use, whether it be what's going on in our minds, whether it be cardio and cancer and things like that are just killing people. That the two biggest things that kill people in this country is heart disease and cancer. Well, we don't have anything to solve that. We have things that will help. We have things that will improve your immune system so your body can do what it's supposed to do and fight those things. We've learned and we investigate the specialty, the real specialty supplements that you see in our products. Where do you see the ones we're coming out with it now? But the subtle differences that we have between what everybody else has, it takes it to the next step. When I developed a company, I designed Avini Health Advances in Natural Healing, and that's truly what we believe, and that's the way we work towards when we put together products. We are continually looking at what other parts of the body can we help, what parts can we improve, what items can we improve. Okay, but if you stop and think about it, we've covered just about the whole body. Okay, so what we have to do is upgrade and do better. And there's a couple of things that we still have to go after. You'll see what I'm talking about. But as time goes on, it's going to be about making the products better and better and better because the products are there. Let me tell you, we're not going to be a company with 500 products. Doesn't work. Okay? What we are going to be is a company with the most unique products. I mean, you could almost start a company in network marketing with any one of our products. Pick one. And you got them all. Okay? Now, here's my gripe. You want to hear my gripe? I love Cell Defender. Most of you, that's all you talk about. Don't do that. Okay? The biggest thing I learned when I became a network marketer was don't make decisions for other people. Oh, they're only going to want to see the plus relief. Oh, they're only going to want to see the cell defense. No, show them the whole damn thing. All right, let them decide. You don't know what they need. When I became a buyer for Rite Aids 50 years ago, I can't believe it's 50 years ago. When I became a buyer for Rite Aid, my boss said to me, if you want to be a good buyer and a good salesman and a good understanding of how to do business, you need to learn to look through the window at what the consumer wants and not in the mirror at what you like. Because what you like, you're only one person. Figure out what they're going to like. We have proof that they like it. We have tons of proof that they like it. We have like 1,700 videos proving that they like it. Okay. You got calls every morning proving that they like it. I mean, we created, the packets. Why did we create the packets? Because our products work. You don't create packets for things that don't work. Okay. Walk around. If you don't walk around with nano silver packets in your pocket, you can't be Shu. Because I'm going to tell you, every person I meet, and I play tennis, I do it, is hurting, and I have them in my pocket, and in my tennis pants, the shorts. Here, put this on. I mean, it's the simplest thing in the world. You're in a restaurant having breakfast. Make your coffee in front of people. What is that? It's a weight loss coffee. Are you kidding me? How do you start conversations? So, Pat was apologized. There's no problem, Pat. You're on everything. We're cool. But starting conversations is by watching what people are doing and having a reaction to it, saying things. What do you do for a living? I'm in the specialty supplement business. I don't say I'm in network marketing. I don't say I'm in, supplements. I'm in the specialty supplement business. Well, what's that? Well, we have products that work on your body. It's not vitamin A and vitamin B. I can tell you, if you're looking for that, you got the wrong person. Well, give me an example. Well, we have drops that'll take the heavy metals and toxins out of your body that are causing most of your problems. Go look it up on the computer. Really? Really? Or I'm playing, it was funny. I look pretty good for my age, and I also run pretty well now thanks to our products. I mean, I play tennis almost every day, 7 o'clock in the morning. If you're trying to call me at 7, I will not answer. Six I answer. 7 I don't answer. And I was playing a couple of Saturdays ago, and we had some people in from California because it's an advanced, what they call an advanced clinic. They only allow 12 people. They all have to be, a certain level and up. And I'm up there and I'm running around and I'm playing, and we got to come. And one of the guys says, Neil, when's your next birthday? And I said February. And so somebody said, well, how old are you going to be? I said, I'm going to be 74. And excuse my French, but they said, are you shitting me? I gave out 6 cards at that out of 12. Well, Claire and I were 2 of them, so 6 out of 10 wanted cards. So I'm saying it doesn't take a lot, and then I shut up. By the way, I don't say anything else. That's it. Okay, that's the other thing you need to learn to do. Say less to more people. Okay, say less to more people. Get them started. Get information. Make sure you get their phone number, because giving your card isn't good enough, because they're probably not going to do anything with it. Send them some information. Boom. Okay. I mean, I'm not even a distributor. I love doing it. So, now having said that, there's a lot of things that as a corporate office we need to do for you. And I wanted to talk a little bit, okay, Christine, about the new stuff that we're working on. So as you know, we came out with some new stuff this past week. And as usually when you deal with software and you test it for 6 months, it doesn't work when you go to use it. I mean, we've been working on this thing for 6 months. A lot of it works. Obviously, orders are coming in. We're doing great this month, okay? But there are some things in it that some of you came up with that said, what, we can't do this. Could you fix it? Well, they're fixing it. It'll probably be fixed by tomorrow, most of it. We have like 4 or 5 things that everybody came up with that, need to be fixed. But there's a lot of stuff in that that's really cool. Okay. So, what I want you to do, if you do nothing else, is when you go in your back office, go to business and go to reports and go through those reports that we wrote over there. You can literally run your business. Forget about the rest of the website. You can run your business from those reports. All right. When you get down, I mean, I wish I had it when I was in the business. There's a report in there that will go down your downline and tell you how close they are to the next, literally on 1 page or 2 pages, however big your organization is. Who's close to getting the next level? Well, when you're in the last 3 days of the month trying to close, 200 here, 100 there, 150 there, it becomes real money. And it becomes real money while you're helping people get more money. So if you do nothing else normally when you go to close, do that. The last week, Jane, you're $2,000 away from becoming a Ruby executive. What are we going to do to get you there? Well, let's pull up your list of people in your downline and see who we can help get that $2,000 by making them better. You get it? Because just like anything else, somebody used to say, we didn't talk about our business too much because people would get upset talking about business. Well, you know what? Without business, there's no products. Sorry. There's no products without business and no business without products. It goes both ways. But it's not like you're in a business taking advantage of people. You're in a business to help people. And it's not only to help people by standing out in front of the hospital and finding out who's sick, okay? It's also about helping the people that you already helped to get into the business. It's your responsibility as an upline to help those people all the time. And you can now because you have you have a lot of the facts you need to help them get better. You're gonna get there's a lot of training coming out. Mickey, as many of you know, just came out a few months ago, but at the end of last year, is building a brand new marketing program for you guys with a bunch of people, a bunch of distributors. That's going to change and ease up the way you introduce the business. This app, if your damn thing ever starts working correctly, is really a good app. I don't even want to go into it because my blood pressure just went up about 40 points thinking about it. So, but we're on the phone. When I have to get involved with a vendor or something like that, it's their worst nightmare. So trust me, it's going to get fixed. Okay. Um, we're never going to be a company that doesn't make mistakes because we're always trying. Okay. We're always trying to make it better and we will continue. Why did we change to a new website? Number one, we outgrew the other one. That's a good reason right there. That's a good thing, man, after 3 years. Number two, this was much better, much more expansive, and will work faster. And has a lot more things that we'll be able to add over the next couple of years that the other one had no abilities to add better things. So that this website is going to be a real tool for you. The back office looks a lot like the old one because this company bought the old company, so they stole the back office. But there's also things in there that we didn't have in the other office. A couple of people, I think Michael, Kyle, and Mickey went in, and if you go into the media and documents in the back office there, it's better put together. There's a lot more in there. It's up to date. There's a lot of stuff in there that you could use. I think putting the product articles on the website that you could pull down from the top, from along the top of all of Rick's articles that he puts into the monthlies. Those are really good things to send to people because it really explains why you want to be on the products. Remember, some people are visual, some people are audio, and some people need to read it. Some people want video reading. So you have all those things available for you. But the 2 or 3 days before the conference on Monday and Tuesday, we have a new video guide, not a new one. Our video guide is going to come, and Rick and myself and Mickey are going to do a bunch of new videos for you. So you'll have a bunch of new stuff, including the new items. Boy, Richard Zimmer looked really weird there. He was sitting there and his head was cut off.
He looks like he's forging, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He's got something in his hand. I don't know what
Oh
that
my
is.
God. What is that, a gerbil?
Was it gerbil? A hamster.
A hamster. Same thing, only different.
Yes.
Okay.
You never
So
know.
anyway,
Thank you, Neil.
I mean, I know you guys want to get off now, but I just wanted to tell you some of the beliefs that we have that is no different than yours. We're on the same team.
Well, Neil, you're absolutely right, and you and Shu were very much in sync with what you're saying. Share all the products, not just one product. We're a company that's growing, and I always love the challenge when someone says something about, oh, this doesn't work. So ingenuity, being first and front runner in something takes time and practice and patience. But you're an amazing leader to lead this ship along with the team, always making it better. And I want to just say, always listening, always listening about what the field has to say. So you're in this with us. That's the best part about this. You listen, you pick up, you hear us, and you make the difference and you make the change. So I just want to thank you for that, you and your wife Claire, and the amazing team you have in customer service, because Heath and those guys are amazing. They're working very hard tonight because it is the end of the month. That's why we're going to cut this off in just a couple minutes, because we're not done yet. We all have work to do yet, and we all have to go. Those reports are brilliant because I do them on big sheets of paper, and now I don't have to do them on big sheets of paper, always in pencil, so I could change the volume on the person that, looking to help them rank up. But those reports are so valuable. So again, awesome, awesome. We're all going to be patient. We're all positive, and we're all going to get there together. But I do have one thing to say: never quit, never give up, because this man with this team is going places, and you don't want to look back and say, I was there and I quit or I gave up. Just keep believing. As Neil says, your holes in your bucket, right? You got holes in your bucket. Keep filling it. Come to those calls. People put a lot of energy into those 11 o'clock calls, and a lot of energy into even this call of getting amazing speakers. So with that, I just want to give Chip about 2-3 minutes to always close us out. Chip, notice how I said 2-3 minutes, Chip?
Yeah,
Just
I'll try to be
teasing.
quick. Well, you have
Welcome, Chip.
noticed as you interact with other humans that a lot of people would like to have their own thing, right? They don't like the boss thing. And there's a lot of people who would like to help other people. That's what this is. And if we take good care of that gerbil that Richard Zimmer has, it may be a St. Bernard with a rescue barrel on its collar. That's all I got.
All right. Wow, that was short, beautiful, and sweet. So listen, thank you, Neil. Thank you, Shu. Thank you, guests, and everyone here tonight. Let's go out and close the month out and see you all at Summit coming up. If you're not registered, you better get registered because the tickets are limited. So see you all there, and we'll see you next week.
It's a 2-week-old kitten I rescued from the
Thought it was
dump.
a kitten.
Oh,
I
God
thought it
bless.
was a kitten.
Well, in a couple of weeks, we're going to be doing our program topic will be animals. So we'll prep you for what day that is. All you animal lovers will bring your friends, family, and veterinarians to the call. God bless you. Happy
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody. Thanks
Good
for being
night.
here.
Have a good weekend.
Thanks, Neil. Thanks, Shu.
Great
Bye-bye.
Good night.
Thank you. Bye.